Hey, hey, you get out of here, Tom Cruise. Shoo, get. Get out of here. Oh, man. I know used cars are expensive, but this is getting ridiculous. Hey friends, welcome back to the garage. My name is Jim with Philly Fixed, and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're getting into something a little different for the channel, outdoor power equipment. So I've got a wide variety of leaf blowers here, ranging from the Ryobi and the SunJoe, which are in the $60 to $70 range as of fall 2021. We've got the Makita kind of in the middle at $130 full price. And then we've got the Ego up around $180 and the Greenworks 80 volt Pro, which clocks in somewhere around $260 to $280, depending on where you're buying, direct or from somewhere else. And what we want to do is look at the type of performance you could expect as you increase in price and increase in specs on the box. But what I'm most excited about with this video is that this is a collaboration with my good friends over at Torque Test channel. So what you're going to see here with my video is usability testing. I'm going to go out and actually blow some leaves, and you're going to get to see how these things perform in real world specs. And then I'm going to ship these over to Torque Test channel, which by the time you watch this, that'll already be done. And they will have tested these same leaf blowers on a pretty exciting setup to really put those box specs to the test, which is what they're really good at. So I hope you'll watch this video, and then I'll put a card above and a link below so that you can go watch Torque Test channel's video, and we can test some of the things like this 530 CFM printed on the Ego right here. So clearly my indoor filming setup here is not really the best for trying to shoot large things like this. So let's get out of here, let's go outside and start messing with these things. So I have my sound meter right at ear level for me. I'm 5'10". I'd say that's pretty average, at least for a guy. So what I'm going to do is hold the blower down at my side like I would if I were using it. And the distance to the meter is about the same as it would be to my ear. I've got fully charged batteries on all these. And for the blowers like this that are a single speed, you get what you get. For the other ones, I'm going to run them on their highest speed, and then in the case of the Greenworks and the Ego, I'll also do a second test or a second measurement with turbo mode turned on. So let's start out with the SunJoe. I'd say about 88. Ryobi with a 2 amp hour HP battery. '87. Makita 5 amp hour battery. '89. Ego on high speed normal mode. '85.5, and now on turbo mode. '88. Greenworks. '85, and now Greenworks on turbo. '89. So for the leaf blowing test, I set up an 8-foot by 8-foot square in my yard. The grass is moderately high. It kept growing for maybe another week and a half since the last time I cut it. And so it's not short grass. Should simulate a moderately challenging situation for a leaf blower. So this 8-foot by 8-foot square is the collection area where I'm going to try to get all the leaves into that square. Then I set up a 16-foot line 10 feet from the square. And what I'm going to do is dump that trash can full of leaves in a line behind the 16-foot mark. And basically it's going to simulate kind of trying to funnel all those leaves into the collection square, which is, trying to gather the leaves into a pile to get rid of them. In order to make sure that, each of the blowers is blowing an equal amount of leaves, I'll rake up the leaves left in the square at the end to fill up the trash can and make sure that I got all of them, because clearly there's some straggling leaves around the grass here, and I'm not going to try to blow every single leaf into the square. So let's get started. So what are my final thoughts on these things? Well, obviously the Ego and the Greenworks are your top of the line blowers in this bunch, but I will say the Makita kept up with them pretty well for being what I would consider kind of in a different class. I mean, price-wise, you know, I guess it's not that far off from the Ego, but Makita is more like a power tool company that makes outdoor power equipment. Although they do have a pretty expansive line of outdoor power equipment. The one thing that drives me nuts is that on this Ego, there's a lag from when you pull the trigger to when it actually starts working. And there's a lag from when you release the trigger and it stops blowing, which if you realize you're hitting something you don't want to, that's not very desirable. And as I was testing these things and even playing with them a little bit around the yard before I shot the video, I found it driving me nuts that this has like a soft start trigger. So just something to consider on the Ego. Maybe I'm being nitpicky, but I would say your best value here is probably the Makita. But I would recommend you go check out Torque Test channel, and they're gonna have a much more scientific breakdown than I will, but hopefully this gives you an idea of what it'll actually look like when you try to blow leaves with these things. So obviously I would not recommend trying to blow leaves in grass with either the Ryobi or the SunJoe. You're gonna be there all day. But either of the other three I think are very capable. It really just depends on maybe you're already in the Makita line, or you're looking to get into a real dedicated outdoor power equipment brand like Ego or Greenworks, and I don't think you can go wrong with any of these three for the type of application I showed today. So, thanks so much for watching. Please hit that like button if you found this video enjoyable. Please consider subscribing if you want to see more. I've got lots more power tool videos coming up. I do deals on occasion. And don't forget to go check out Torque Test channel. They've got the highly scientific testing of these things right now. Jim with Philly Fixed. God bless you guys.
Hello, I'm Jim Davis.